8 crazy comedy movies like The Hangover you need to watch. There are some comedy movies that stick with you long after they end. Especially when watched with a group of friends, the fun multiplies. The Hangover was exactly that kind of movie. Chaos, bad decisions, unforgettable characters, and a chain of events that constantly gets worse. So, are there other movies that give off a similar energy? Some stand out with absolute party chaos, while others shine with their completely absurd characters. And to be honest, a few movies on this list are completely unhinged. The Other Guys. When you put Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg side by side, you can't expect anything normal. While one is overly calm and acting weird, the other seems to be having a constant nervous breakdown. Their reactions to each other throughout the film sometimes even overshadow the main plot. Although some argument scenes devolve into pure nonsense, this weird energy makes the movie incredibly engaging. At some point, you even forget it's a cop story. Zombieland. The first few minutes make you believe you're watching a classic zombie movie. Then Woody Harrelson steps onto the scene, and the whole vibe of the film changes. The chemistry between the characters works so well that the movie never slows down for a second. A zombie apocalypse on one hand, ridiculous road trip stories on the other, and brilliant dark humor constantly cutting in. Honestly, if some of these scenes were shot today, they would instantly go viral on social media. Wedding Crashers. Now things are starting to get a bit more out of control. The premise of the movie is completely absurd to begin with, 2 guys crashing weddings just to have fun for free. Of course, their plans don't go as smoothly as they thought. The seemingly improvised dialogue between Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, in particular, makes the movie feel incredibly natural. Some scenes feel less like a script and more like they just acted out whatever came from within in the moment. 21 Jump Street. Sending 2 failed cops back to high school is an absurd idea in itself. However, the film executes this concept much better than we'd expect. Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum's energy complement each other perfectly, while their constant humiliation in the school environment makes the movie even more entertaining. The unyielding action pace keeps the audience hooked. That's the secret to why it's still watched so much after all these years. This Is the End. From this point on, things get completely crazy. Because this movie doesn't even try to act normal. Seth Rogen, James Franco, and Jonah Hill are playing exaggerated versions of themselves this time. With this crew trapped in the same house during the apocalypse, it's impossible to tell what's serious and what's a joke. A ridiculous argument can immediately be followed by a chaotic action scene. It's a total masterpiece for lovers of dark humor and chaos. And yes, we are now down to the top 3. We're the Millers. Even though the idea of creating a fake family seems logical at first, things completely derail before long. That weird harmony between Jason Sudeikis, Jennifer Aniston, and Emma Roberts turns the movie into an incredibly enjoyable ride. As if the ridiculous problems they face along the way weren't enough, every plan the group makes only complicates things further. This endless chaos energy is the biggest reason why so many people compare this film to The Hangover. The RV scenes, in particular, have been circulating the internet for years. Superbad. For many, this movie remains the peak of modern teen comedies. The secret to its success isn't just that it's funny, but that the characters feel incredibly real and genuine. While Seth and Evan's friendship forms the heart of the film, a character like McLovin alone has already become an unforgettable piece of internet culture. The fact that its scenes are still shared as memes is the ultimate proof that the movie hasn't aged. Even for a first-time viewer, it still plays out incredibly entertaining. Project X. And here we are at the top of the list. Honestly, this film is a literal disaster simulation. What starts out as a small house party turns into an absolute war zone as the crowd grows, and the cops, and even helicopters, show up. The fact that viewers tried to throw similar parties when it came out just shows how massive of an impact the film had. If The Hangover didn't seem crazy enough to you, Project X will definitely push your limits. So, which movie on this list do you think is the best? Is Project X more chaotic, or is Superbad a more legendary comedy? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to see more lists like this, don't forget to like the video.